Hi everyone, this is Big Mama. I'm right here and I am getting ready to show you the journal that I finished for July for the Dear Julie Challenge. And I hope that I have the camera all set up to where there aren't too many shadows and you'll be able to see the pages just fine. The challenge Julie had for this month is her Jolie Just Junk Paper Pad and Digital's Junk Journal Challenge. And this is for July of 2026. And as you'll see by the papers that I have here, I used Julie's welcome kit that she had for Patreon for the month of June. And she had some pages that she also had these pages that are for the month of July that she gave to people who had become her Patreon. And I also used this background page that was in her Americana Hydrangea and Friday freebie. So I wanted you to see that being on the Dear Julie challenge part of it, you can get some free things and be able to make some wonderful journals. So this is an old book that I had, and the name of the book was Nana. And so I thought, well, I like the colors that went with the digital, and so that's what I did. Here is the button that I used that had a beautiful sunflower on it. And I thought that the flower went really well with the flowers that she has in the digitals. And so the way I do this is I like to secure the button on the front and then run the ribbon through here and secure it in the front cover so that it doesn't move out. And then also I sew the bow. And the reason why I sew that is so you can just pull it off and back on and you don't have to worry about untying it. So let's get inside. I want, first of all, for you to see that she is extremely loaded. This was the dangles that we made using puzzle pieces. And so the puzzle piece here on the back side, and I used some bling and some broken jewelry and put that on here. I made little tabs to secure those. And so here we go. In the very front, I put a pocket. I received some material from my friend Kat Kappa, and she had sent this lace with the tree on it. And I thought that that was just really wonderful to go with the digital, so I put that there. And she had also sent this material. And another friend had sent me a bundle that had this green lace in it. So I put that all in here, made that pocket. And then this was I just did this today, as a matter of fact. Julie had given us the instructions on how to do her jam-packed loaded tag with the cross-tuck pockets, and so I'm going to take the paper clip off of here. I use the jute up here for a J word. This is her digital. I put some lace up underneath it. I embossed on a piece of wax paper, and then here are the pockets. This says we are blessed. Home sweet home is what I put here. I put some paper lace here, and I had made a washi board by mistake. I didn't realize that we were using them as a page, so I'd actually made the washi board. This is a dyed, oh, huge. It's one of those, I think it's 6x5 index card for the back. And then I also did, you can see where I did the enamel on there, the embossing enamel, and some scraps of lace here, put a bow. And then Julie had these words that are on her Friday freebie that I put glossy accent on the words and put those on here. And so put home sweet home. This is the crisscross and then her pocket, and made a tag. I had some rice paper. This is part of her digital. This is part of rice paper. I did a lot of spritzing with the inks, and again put that glossy accent on there, and also the copper enamel. And then on the back of this one, I had a card from a library for the book, and so put that in there. And then some scraps of lace up here, and you can see again that enamel. So just finished all that. You can journal here, and this is some scrapbook paper I had. And so that's the paper pad part of the challenge. And then here we go. This is her digital. Isn't that gorgeous with the butterfly on it? You'll see a lot of the butterflies in here. And then I backed this, put the paper lace on there, and grunged up my pages. And then this is a snippet edge, and I put some bling on there. We did these playing cards, Jacks and Jokers, and so I had this Monet card, and so you can see the top and the bottom of the card. And so I tore them, and here is my little joker on the back, and made those journaling spots. Thought I could put that, well, maybe if I went this direction it'd go easier. There we go. And then here is our snippet, and I made it into a belly band, and I did these rosettes out of a part of a map. And then her butterfly is here, some antique buttons. And then this tag I made, it's with some flowers, pressed flowers, inside the window of the envelope. And then I used some old ledger so you can write on it. Wonderful coffee stained paper, and we're supposed to use a journal. And when I cut this to size, I took a little bit of the cross off. Sorry folks. Put a little bit of a rub-on sticker down here because there was a hole in the paper. And so we cover up our little boo-boos. And this is her digital. I put some glossy accent on here and some glitter. And then I hand wrote this little saying on here by Horseman: "It is well to think well. It is divine to act well." And then this is our, I printed on this for, I first did the digital and then I did this on the back of it. So that's our sailboat fold. And some more of those little rub-on stickers. And as you can see, this paper had the holes on the bottom, so I just covered them up with the butterflies. And here's that dangle. And then this pocket here, the way it is, it's got a hidden place for you to put something there. And she called this jaded because it covers up what's actually there. And so I scorched the edge of this curtain that had the embroidered branch with the leaves, and that's her digital. And then this is the card that went in it. So, and then also I mounted that onto a piece of the ledger and then stained it up and trimmed it out with some scraps of my map and did that fussy bow. She calls those messy bows. And now the next signature, there are 5 signatures here. And so this is that page again where it covers up the other. And so this lace is covering up the digital. And then there's a little pocket here too. And then there's a card. And this also has a pocket here that has a card in it. And I did some splatters on there. And the music is called Jazzy. And then this is my music paper, my jazzy paper. Some more of this page. And then this is just an extended pocket. It's not 2 pockets, it's an extended pocket. And where this goes down And this actually comes up and there's a card in here. And I put that to where it just comes under the edge of this and made a little card to go in there that can open up. And then we were to take a piece of paper and tear it apart and do some gold or some gilding, something in the pieces where we put it back together. So this is what I did with the map, and actually tried to tear it along the lines of the highway or the river when I put it back together. And then the back side of it, I had some paper from my friend Lolly, and so this is some of Lolly's paper. And then I had this packaging that I went ahead and stenciled and sprayed to create this effect with my stencils on the packaging. And this is our flip-flop with a flap. And so this is the J word is jacquard, and I put my butterfly there. And then this card just makes that pool. And what I did here was, this was from one of the books, and I had a little address book, so I just put that, made it a little kind of a pocket, so you can write on there. And then this just keeps flipping and a flapping. And I had this easy form for real estate that I turned into a place where you can journal on it. I used napkin here and had this to write for a receipt. And then this opens up for you to do some writing on it too. And that's that brown paper, the back side of it. Lolly's paper. And then here I did this tall belly band, and it was to where it opens up here. And so I made a little notebook here. And then I went around the zigzag with the gold ink pen. And I have a little pocket here, and a pocket here, and a pocket here on this side, and put this little charm up there, and added antique postcard for you, 1915. I just really like the colors, and so put that there. And then this is a see-through pocket. If I don't remember the names of everything, I hope that you will give me grace. But this pocket, well, I'm not even going to try. I thought I'd look at the list, but it's where you can see things through it. And then this, the way I did it was with the job. This was a children's book page, and so I secured the paper clip so that it doesn't come off, and then I put the butterfly over the top of the paper clip on the front, and put Julie's Digital here also of the words from the Friday freebie. And here some butterflies, and this, and remember, you've got this little pocket here that you can add more to if you want. Some wonderful journaling space, and the music paper. And this here, after I had put the pages on and had taken and added the butterfly on here as a transfer, then I took the wax and put over it to make that wax page. But before I did all of that, so that it wouldn't go through to the other side, I put the clear gesso on the page, let it dry overnight, and then went back and added the butterfly transfer and then the book pages on there, so that on this side, the only places where the wax came through are places that I didn't get gesso on there. And then this is another one of those jaded pockets that she had us do with a tall tag. And So this is the tall tag. I used wrapping paper here and did this punch out, and I have a book here that I used a page off of it, and this is Julie's digital here. As you can see, it's that digital. And then there's her digital here. I zigzagged around with the vellum to hold that in place, and then added the lace here that had been grunged up, and then when I glued it down, I made sure that I had a pocket, and I'm adding a little card here that you can use because it's got butterflies. Here, again, I'm probably not going to remember all the names, but we were supposed to use lace and we're floral print, so that's what I did there. This is Julie's digital off of here, off of this one. And then I had a little card here that can go in it. And I did that seed bead work here and added a charm and put that on an index card that had been copy dyed. And then my pocket here, I have the bling here and lace, and then stitched around it. These tags, I had extra buttons, and so what I did here was, this actually is using a tea bag and just tearing the tea bag into strips, and then I twisted it and ran it through twisted, and then I tied the knot, and then I untwisted it so that they came out like a bow. And then that's her digital, a scrap of paper on here. And so the way I did that open then keeps that tag open, and you've got your paper here. And I used some washi also, and calendar, glued it, and then plant kindness and gather love. So I did that, and then this one also has down inside here paper with a tag. In all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous. Aristotle. Kind of reminds me of a commonplace journal when you put those quotes that mean so much to you. And another one of the pages, I just used the gold thread and cross stitched on here, and then that has that little tag in there. And this is a little dresser, and so each one of the drawers comes out for you to write on. And her little words here, and then a tall tag using the music digital, and some of my copy paper or paper pad, and then music here. And then this was another one of the transfers of her digital, and transferred that, and then made a clear pocket here that I added lace to, and that's her digital here that I fussy cut and added the bow. And then this is the other one of the little girls in the book, and again, you just slide that out of there, write on it, and then slide that back up underneath there. And I think we're getting down to it. Here is one of her folds that she has for us to do. That's using a she calls it a postcard page, and I think I have one of those to show you. This is a postcard page, so it was folded up, and then this is where you would sew into the signature, and then on each side then you've got something. And so I put the lace here and the hanging down lace, and then here is my card. Put some of the I don't know why you guys listen to me. Some of the sheer curtain, and then there's my card. that goes. Well, I should show you how easy it is to put it together instead of making it look so hard. And her digital. And we were to back 2 different pages of digital with tissue paper and napkin. So this is the second ply of the napkin, and as you can see, it left some of the printing on there. And then I took a piece of the first ply and rubbed some glue down here and rubbed that down kind of for like a fresco kind of look. And then here's some more where I did that paper. And so we were to do a masterboard page, and as I showed you in the front, I thought that we were to do a masterboard and cut it apart, and so I did a full masterboard and cut it apart. Well, that wasn't what you're supposed to do. You're to do a masterboard. Well, to do it as a page, I needed it to be thin, so I added it to the packaging. And so I did added this to the packaging first, the brown paper, and then I started adding the different book pages of music paper, and then I went over the top of it with tea bag. So you can see here the tea bag that's over the top of it to really give it strength. And then when I put the butterflies on, I just glued them in the middle there. Sorry about your antenna there. And made it to where you can tuck little things underneath the butterfly if you want to. So that's my masterboard. And then here is a waterfall using just trash. So there's my package paper, and you can see this was still attached to the packaging. And then here is a scrap of wrapping paper and book page. And dare to do right. You know, I've got to put some words of wisdom in there to follow. And then here is a coffee filter that I put and made it to where the coffee filter then folds in and you can write on it. And I'm telling you, you can write on coffee filters. And then here is my map. And did the little rosettes out of scraps. And the world, looking down from the top. And I had gotten this guy at an auction, and it just seemed to be a world traveler. He's been down to Mexico, whatever. And I really liked that picture. And so I thought, well, he would go good in the belly band. So there is an antique picture that came out of somebody's scrapbook. And then here was this picture of this old car and a guy at the door, and it says what address, and we don't have 2 cars. This was made when my brother was here Thanksgiving, and so brother came home, there's his car, and I thought, well, that is just cool to have that in there. So here is the other part of the masterboard, and when this is a card where you can open it up and it expands. And so I used her digital that I showed you, this digital, and I put that on the scrapbook paper so you could write on each one of the panels. And then here's a little pocket over here to where you can write on this panel, and that's a piece from this freebie. And so that goes in, and I glued this to where there is a pocket also at the top. So he could park his car in there. And then this just closes down, and he's ready to hide the car, and then turn the page. There's that. And there's the other part of the napkin, and that's the digital. See how easy that was to put back in? And now we're down to the last one. This is where you take a, oh, I didn't bring one out, did I? Yeah, I did. Okay, so she has these tall tag pages. And so this is a tall tag page, and I covered the back of it with that paper so you can write on it. And then here is the digital. And this, I put this little calendar in there. I thought that that was cool. Using up my ephemera. And then this unties and opens up. And you can write on these places. And then it drops down and you can write here. Right here. So close that. And tie your bow. And you've got a pocket that you can write in. And then this, is a jailbird. And so she said you could either do bars and put someone's picture in there and they're in jail, or you could make a fence. I went with the fence since I was doing so many butterflies. And so I had this trim that is a vine. And so I put it, after I wove the pieces of music paper and map, and then I fussy cut this greeting card, the front of this greeting card, so you can write on it, and put some gold around the edge. And then I also took some more of this antique bills, a ticket. I put the butterfly there, put the lace on it, and put it on watercolor paper. So that goes here, and this is tissue paper that is on the back of the digital. And so this goes behind the fence. And I thought, well, I want some flowers behind the fence, so that's why I fussy cut that card. And some more of that. Here's the page here. And then this, I took rub-on butterflies and put on the envelope. This is some ephemera that I had, and the lace, washi tape, and then her digital. And then this opens up and you can write here. It also flips up, and there's the back of those butterflies. And I put a little bit of washi tape here so that you could see the beauty of those holes. And then here is a pocket with a tall skinny tag, and she calls these her bookmarks. And then I put that butterfly on it, and it's lined with a napkin, and that goes in there. And I kind of like bringing the bow up over the top there. And handmade by Big Mama Sandy Moore. And here is that wonderful lace, and you've got another pocket here to add whatever you want. And that, my dear friends, is a very big gator that can be filled with so many wonderful, wonderful stories. And just squeeze her and close it up, and there you go. And if you are interested in this beauty, just let me know down in the comments. And I promise you, all the other ladies who have bought my journals, we have no trouble getting a hold of each other. So please get in hold of me, and I will get this in the mail to you right away. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.